How's it going, guys? Mr. Ready here, and recently I talked to a man on Omegle who unfortunately lives in the city of San Francisco. It was a really interesting conversation, so feel free to hit the subscribe button down below, share this video around with family or friends, and let's get to it. What's going on with you? What's new?
Nothing much, man.
Nothing much. Who's that on the screen?
Deontay Wilder.
Oh shit! His lip is all jacked up. Oh my god.
It was a boxing match. It was in a boxing
Jesus.
match.
See, I don't watch too much boxing,
No.
but that looks pretty heinous.
I have this picture. I like this picture. That's a good picture.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That is a very nice picture. What other pictures you got?
Are you live streaming?
I'm not live streaming, but if you
Oh.
got something like super cool, I'll put it in there.
All right. Put this in there.
Oh my
Put
Oh,
that
you're
in
trying
there.
to get me taken down. You're lucky it's not on a live stream because
I know that, dude. No, I was gonna actually get you taken
They're like
down.
fucking porn. What is that? Is that interracial or is that like a or
No. That's interracial. That's on realitykings.com.
do you have any like subscriptions or anything?
To be honest, like a lot of people hate me for this, but I dig interracial porn. It's like a fetish. Like it's a bad fetish. I'm trying to break it, but it's like
Trying to break it.
it's so bad.
You gotta watch like I don't know, some really really white porn or something like some family like incest.
Dude, no,
type stuff.
I'm attracted to white girls, but I'm not
Yeah.
like they don't get my dick hard. Something about something about ethnic girls makes my dick really hard. I don't know why.
The darker the fruit, the sweeter the juice. I guess I don't know.
I think it's like because like girls piss me off. Like when I talk to them.
Yeah.
In like real life, they're just like most of them are like pink. Where I live, they mostly have pink hair and they're just like batshit crazy. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, wait. Do you live in California at all by chance?
Yeah, I do.
Where in California do you live?
I live in San Francisco.
Oh shit, San Francisco. I heard that city's going down
Yeah,
the
it's
shitter.
it's not even a city, dude. It's a fucking public dumping ground.
Is it true that the San Francisco has like their own like poop like cleanup?
Yeah, dude, there's shit everywhere, man.
Oh fuck. They got like needles and shit all over the streets too.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Yep. My aunt and uncle took a trip there, unfortunately, and like they said they heard like there was this crazy guy that was just talking to himself in the street, and like,
Dude, they ruined that city because my dad's a boomer, and
yeah,
he used to go to San Francisco in the 70s and 80s, and he would, Pacific Ocean's right there, and
yeah,
he would fish
right,
at the pier, and like it was great, man. Like it was the best time in the world. Like none of that BS would. I mean, San Francisco has always been liberal, so it's not
yeah,
always been the best, but it's not like they were like outside shitting on the streets
yeah.
and having heroin needles. But I mean, here's
It's a
the thing with
process.
California that a lot of people don't recognize, and this is what a lot of people don't understand,
Yeah,
is Silicon Valley and technology actually is what ruined California. A lot of the reason California is unlivable is because of Silicon Valley that pay no taxes, you
yeah.
know?
They just
Like it is what it is. A lot of people are going to defend that and say, well, they're providing jobs, but they're not really doing anything good because you could work at Google and make what 200K a year, but where
yeah.
I live, 200K is nothing.
Yeah, well, the price of living, like rent, I heard is crazy high up there. It's like,
Yeah, it's like $3,000,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. That's why a lot of people are moving out of there to like Austin, Texas, and
No, but
places
the
like
problem is these mega corporations, dude. Like, they're
that. Yeah,
literally the reason why everything is so messed up as far as rent. And you know, I don't know if you understand this, like, but
yeah,
you can go to the World Economic Forum's website, and it literally
yep.
says like, we want you to own nothing
And
and
be happy.
be happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And I
like
saw,
2030.
and
They want you to own
yeah.
nothing and be like, you'll be fine.
Okay, so you know what's going on. Like, you're
Yeah.
not like,
Great
no, you're not.
Reset.
Yeah, you're not a normie when it comes to this
No.
stuff.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
done my research into that stuff.
See,
So
but it's not even like you got to be smart to understand these things. You just got to look
no.
around you. Look what they did to the middle class. Look what COVID did. They shut down all the small businesses,
Yeah, the
and then
corporations stayed open.
yeah,
Amazon made a
dude.
shitload
And
of
then
money.
all these dumb idiots that are like, yeah, a private business can do whatever they want. Any private business that's not enforcing the COVID vaccine is being shut down.
Yeah, all
Anyone.
the mom and pop shops are pretty much
Yeah.
gone. Like my state, we closed like 5,000 businesses like permanently. So yeah, it's Oh,
Uh,
how are you doing with the? So you live in California, so they've got
yeah.
mandates and stuff. San Francisco does, don't they?
Yeah, I don't follow any of that shit, dude, honestly. I
That's good.
I don't know, I'm gonna get arrested probably one day for doing it, but I told my boss, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna get that shit either,
What
so
did it like? Does your work they don't require it or anything?
no, not yet. Because a lot of people are gonna quit if they do. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that much.
yeah, I know. Well, like with Chicago, they had like
Dude,
50% of their police department is unvaccinated, and they're already like using their sick days and shit like that.
there's this one like it's a quote, like I forgot who said it, but it was like basically if you have to be coerced or like threatened, then it's not good for you. It's
Pressured
like a
into it, yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's what they're doing, bro. And it's funny because I told people a year ago this was coming, and everyone kept calling
Yep,
me like a conspiracy theorist and shit. But
it's coming. Yeah,
we
it's
haven't
here.
been wrong on anything, dude. Like they
No.
don't realize we live in a technocracy. I mean, AI,
Yeah,
dude. They got AI cameras everywhere. They're you know what's gonna come off this stuff though? A lot of people don't realize.
social
I
credit.
think they're gonna yeah that and uh I think they're gonna replace. They're gonna speed up the automation process
Yeah, oh
a
yeah, they're
lot.
already
They're
doing
gonna
it. Like
yeah.
McDonald's, Target, Walmart, they barely have any like employees actually doing anything as far as like checking people out and shit like that. So it's
Yeah, but
already replacing those people.
I feel like the automation process is going to go even hotter. And the people, I read this article, the people they can't replace with automation, you know, all those illegal immigrants at the border, they're just going to hire those people.
Yeah.
For just the ones they can't get rid of, they'll just hire the new people because
They
they're going to take the vaccine. So,
Yeah, what they're doing is I don't know, they've been flying them into states like North Dakota, Tennessee, Georgia, places like that. And what they do in Indiana too, we've gotten a lot of them. And what they do is they're hoping that in like the next census, it's be a long process, but within
yeah.
10 years when they take the census count, those states, those blue states that they're flying them into will get an extra like few seats like congressionally, so they'll be able to have it'll swing it
Yeah.
their way, but it won't be immediate. They'll be able to do it eventually.
Yeah. Wait, so they're actually flying them into the U.S. Like you actually see Afghan refugees where you live.
Well, yeah, we have them. I think it's Camp is it Atterbury, I think. We have a base in, I want to
Uh,
say it's somewhere in Indiana, like central Indiana, and I think we've flown like
I
5 or
haven't
ten
seen.
thousand in.
I've never seen a refugee in my life. Like
Yeah.
I've seen illegal immigrants, obviously, and like but I've never seen a refugee.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
like I get they came from a hard place, but it just we can't support our economy can't support even the people that live here. So
dude, they're doing this stuff on purpose, man. Like all this stuff is manufactured. It's really sad what they're doing to people.
yeah,
You
it's
know?
yeah, it's a shame. You know that U.S. dollar is gonna collapse eventually. Like I think they said like
Yeah.
by the end of the year or next year, it's supposed to just completely vanish, like just be fucked.
Well, yeah. Then they'll bring in that digital currency that they want everyone to go
They
to.
wanna they're trying to get regulate Bitcoin. I don't know if you've seen any of that stuff. They're trying to
Yeah.
make it so they can have like a Fed coin, and they can have
Well,
it decentralized.
they already have regulated Bitcoin
Right.
because a lot of these like major stores that online like Coinbase and
Yeah.
some other ones, they're requiring ID for you to buy Bitcoin.
Oh, I didn't know about that, huh?
Yeah. No, that's been like that for like 2 years because
Oh.
when back in 2016, 2017, I bought some Bitcoin, and back then you didn't need to have ID to buy Bitcoin. You could just buy it with a credit card.
Yeah.
But now they require all these documents because the feds got involved. There's another coin called Monero.
Monero. Yeah,
Monero?
yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's being used for dark market, deep web
Yeah,
transactions. That's
yeah.
why Bitcoin was used, right?
Right.
And the feds were actually threatening people that were using it with arrest and shit because they were so pissed off IRS.
Yeah.
But then they spent like millions of dollars figuring out a way to track it, and then they said, "No, you can use it again because we can track you." So it's all BS, dude.
Yeah, they don't
Like,
want you to have any kind of income that they're
no,
not able to track. They
yeah,
want to
because
know
the
everything.
IRS wants to steal your money, dude. That's all the
Yeah.
IRS does. Like,
Yeah, that
bro,
$600
I'm,
requirement that they're
I'm
doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, I barely make it where I live, and I still get taxed the fuck out of by the IRS. Like,
Oh yeah.
and the billionaires don't pay nothing. So, like, all these idiots leftists are like, yeah, we're gonna tax the billionaires. No, you're not.
They
gonna
don't pay
hire.
that. They pass that tax on the
Yeah,
consumer.
dude, they're talking about a mileage tax.
Yep.
This is how bad they want us to starve. They want to tax truckers on every. I think it's 18 cents for every mile they drive.
Yep.
Dude, that's gonna bankrupt people. There's
They,
no way you can afford to pay that.
so what's going on with the like? Do you know anything about the supply chain stuff going on in
Oh yeah,
California?
it's fucked.
It's pretty
It's
fucked. I
I don't know, man. This shit is it's all manufactured, man. These
yeah.
people want people to starve, dude, honestly. Like
Maybe
there's no
that's part of the
there's no
reset.
well, yeah, depopulation. Like these people call us useful eaters in their own words. They think
Yeah.
this is what they I mean, you probably know, right? They worship they think artificial intelligence is going to be like a god and they're going to worship them.
Yep.
So
It's like
cuz
a
they
cult
want to
kind of. Yeah.
yeah, like their whole thing is like technocracy and enslaving us with technology. That's their whole like that's what they want to do and
Yeah.
you know, they bring us closer every day, you know?
Well,
Like
you
someone
seen that Facebook with the Meta stuff, and they had everyone had their
yeah,
VR goggles on and shit, like they were in sync.
yeah.
It's like
You know that reminds
it's
me of that
creepy.
reminds me of the movie Ready Player One. Like everyone's
Yeah,
gonna be living in this trailer in a shitty trailer, probably like a cubicle.
like a
No, in a
storage
city.
container. Yeah,
Yeah, a storage container, and they're the way they're gonna get on with instead of like, you know, dealing with their situation and actually doing something
yeah.
about it, they're gonna put
Well,
on a VR headset and they're gonna escape reality.
that's what he said.
That's what people don't understand is like the reason why these people are allowed to do this, and this is this affects everybody, even me. I'm no different.
Yeah,
The reason they're allowed to do this is because people are too comfortable to do anything about it. They got their
yep.
computers,
They got
like we're
everything
on
they
the
need.
we got the phones, we got all these distractions. Like the only way I see people actually doing something about it is if a massive power outage happened
Yeah,
for like weeks and there was no food, no water.
they'd be
But you're gonna
forced.
have yeah, they would be a lot of people dead from it, but
Yeah,
I feel like people would at least try to do something. Right now, people are way too comfortable to do anything about it.
but I've seen it how they're promoting stuff like they do that van life stuff they've been promoting on YouTube, the algorithm,
Yeah.
and like oh, live in a storage
Well,
container.
it's like even billionaires like even I used to watch this guy like you know that Gary V guy. Even
Yeah,
he's like you shouldn't own property. You should just rent a place
it's like
because you'll make
China.
Yeah, it's like dude, what are you talking about? Like dude, you should own property.
Yeah,
Like you should.
you
Like
should
what do you
want to
mean?
own something, have
That's
something to
the
your name.
That's the American dream, bro. Is literally owning property. It says life, liberty, and what does it say? Life, liberty,
Pursuit of happiness.
yeah, and
Yep.
property are in the pursuit of happiness.
Yep.
Like they literally said that people should own property. Like that's bullshit, man.
Well, I think what's going to happen next with the vaccines is they're going to have like a social. They're going to try to weasel in some sort of a social credit score. So either if you don't get the vaccine, you're going to have a negative score, and then you're not going to be able to like go to the gas
Well,
station,
they're already doing that
grocery
shit,
store.
dude. They want to kick people out of like grocery stores for not having the vaccine.
Yeah, that's where it's getting kind of scary. I talked to some guy in Australia, and he said they're starting to do that kind of. He
Well, no, this is what people. This is what you might disagree with me on this, but this is what's going to happen.
yeah
This is why they're allowed to do this. Unless they have killer robots, then this is what they're going to do. They're going to have people like the police and the military enforce it. Because what they did is that everyone who's not getting vaccinated is getting kicked off the force and they're getting kicked out of the military. So
yep
the people that are left are there to support all this bullshit.
yeah.
So
Once they get rid of all the good cops, they're just gonna have the shitty ones that step on your rights, infringe on your gun rights, ask for your papers and
well,
stuff like that.
they just passed the red flag. I think they're doing the bill that it's a federal red flag law bill, which means like if they call if somebody says
Yeah,
you're crazy, they could just kick down your door and
they can get a
take your
court
gun.
order. I think we might have those here, but I haven't seen any of them being enforced. Like Maryland, I think was where that guy, the cops came to his door and they were like, "Your
Yeah,
neighbor, we got a court order. We're gonna need to confiscate your guns," and he's like, "Fuck no, I'm not giving them up," and then they shot him. So
yeah,
but I mean, a federal. I'm not really worried about a federal anything
yeah,
because the red states aren't going to do anything. The blue states, like California,
yeah,
would be like, "Tell me what to do,
yeah.
daddy."
Well, no, California would just do it anyway because they're just that fucking bad that they just don't
Man,
give a fuck.
yeah, you got Newsom.
We're our own. Yeah, we're our own. We've been our own country for like 20 years. We haven't. We've just
Yeah,
made up bullshit for 20 years.
yeah. It doesn't matter
There's
what the
stuff.
government says.
I wish I lived in a red state, but you know, I just don't.
Well,
It's hard.
you don't have the you probably don't have the means to like just up and move to
Uh,
another state right now. That's the kind of
no,
difficult thing.
the house I am in is built in the 1950s. Like my grandpa owns this house,
Oh, okay.
and what people don't realize about that is like he doesn't have to pay property tax because back then they didn't have property tax. Any house
Right.
built before 1950s, you didn't have to pay property tax on. They
They're kind of
literally added.
grandfathered in then,
Yeah,
just before
the property tax thing is so like people don't realize that's another scheme they added.
yeah.
I call it yearly rent because
Yeah.
how can you say you own your house when you're paying yearly rent? I could
Right.
see if your like kids maybe go to public school because it's supposed to fund a public school, but if you don't want your kids going to public school and you don't have any children, you should be
Yeah.
able to opt
Opt
out of
out of it.
that.
Well,
But they're not gonna, it's one of those
your
things.
schools are shitty anyways. Like I got a friend that thinks kind of the same way that you do, and he lives in Sacramento. And their schools
Yeah,
there, they're teaching like they had the Antifa guy that was telling the
yeah,
kids to be like rebels and activists and shit like that. It's like I wouldn't want to pay money to any of those schools. I'd pull my kids out and just do like
yeah.
homeschool.
The the cheapest one right now is for I'm at is 445. It's not or 447.
Mm,
I feel like the big cities wasn't supposed to be an American thing. You're
no
not supposed to pack people on like you're not supposed to
rats.
live like the way that people live in like LA. It's like literally living like rats, you know?
Yeah, like New York. That's I mean they live with the rats. Like
Yeah.
Baltimore,
Dude,
Chicago.
oh, it's bad, bro. New York. Dude, I
Yeah.
went there right before the pandemic, and this is what last time I heard. They're with all these vaccines going on, they're firing all the people that pick up the trash, so the trash is just piling up on the side of the
Yeah.
road.
I saw pictures of it. Like it's literally there's furniture, there's just bags just laying there. They fired, I think, it's over like 1,000 sanitation workers. I think they fired a
Yeah.
shitload of them. Their police department, I think it's like 30% of the NYPD is gonna get fired. Like some of the union, like the Chicago
Yeah.
police union, is kind of standing up for them, and then the mayor's like, "You guys are insurrectionists because you're defying our mandate or whatever." I don't know how it's
Dude,
legal,
but
but
what? Dude, it's probably not legal. It's one of those things that just they go along with because
yeah.
I've told people how this Biden thing is not constitutionally legal. It's something he made up.
It's not even a
Even
mandate. He didn't even do anything. All he had was a press conference. And like all these companies like Southwest and Delta, they're like, "Oh, we're just following Biden's mandate." It's like, well, he didn't put a mandate in yet.
not
So
only that, this is how bad. This is why I hate conservatives, right? I'm definitely I do vote red, but not because they're just better than Democrats. But I'm further right than that. Here's my thing with them:
yeah,
is they'll take a story and they'll run with it. They won't actually do any research into it, and this is what conservatives do as well as far as in is just like liberals do.
yeah,
So what happened with Delta Airlines is they said they're not forcing the vaccine, which is complete bullshit. They're not doing it in the a normal way where if you don't get the vaccine you're fired. What they're doing
yeah,
is they're making everyone who doesn't take the vaccine, they're increasing their health insurance by $200 every
yeah.
month. So, you
I
pay
heard about that.
200, the next month you pay 400. But what the conservative media did was say, "Oh yeah, Delta's not enforcing the vaccine,
Like,
so go
oh,
out and
okay.
support Delta." They didn't actually read into what they were doing, and that's what people get like tricked on.
That's a
They don't
trap.
realize,
Yeah,
dude. You know what's funny? Me and my friends when I was like a little kid, we'd play like MW2 and talk about how bad the world was because we could just see it happening,
yeah,
and we never thought it would get to this bad.
yeah.
Honestly, like Trump was better than Clinton, but what he did was he kind of like he. I feel like he kind of accelerated things. I don't know. Would
Yeah.
If Clinton would have won, would the censorship and the canceling and all the
No,
other stuff yeah
they
be
wouldn't have had to. The only reason they felt like they had to do that stuff was because Trump was the guy who busted the door down. Because really, they had a curtain kind of up. Like you didn't really see a whole lot of what Obama was doing, and the corruption. You can kind of get little hints here and there, but he kind of tried to keep it under the table. And the same with Biden, I guess. Now we know with the laptop leak and whatnot. But then Trump came in and was like, "Nah, we're not doing any of that shit," and he just completely was like, "We're gonna tear it down," and that's what scared them.
Yeah, but I think it's like it really did accelerate stuff because
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine like all this stuff they're saying now. I don't know if it would have happened under Hillary Clinton, to be honest.
No, she would have just put on like a fake smile, like Kamala
Probably
Harris.
would have done a lot of bad things, like maybe a lot of gun control and stuff. But I don't think like the LGBTQ canceling BS would happen,
No.
and critical race theory and all this other stuff.
Thanks for talking with me. This might
Yeah.
just be a whole thing because I figured I'd talk to a few people and no one wanted to talk. So, thanks, man.
Yeah. No, usually people don't really talk on here, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had a good conversation. It was good talking to
Yeah.
you. Hopefully, you can get out of California at some point.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Utah. I heard Utah's pretty chill.
Yeah, I heard a lot of Mormons. It'll be some chill
Yeah.
vibes.
Exactly. Have a good day.
All right, take it easy. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Share this video around. It really helps get past the algorithm that YouTube puts out that really makes it impossible for my videos to get out to people. And I think it's an important conversation. A lot of these conversations are. So that's going to do it for this video. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And as always, let's go Brandon.